In recent years, the question of whether people need sunlight has received an increasing amount of attention. Humans and their ancestors have lived on Earth for several million years, but in Scandinavia we've only been around for about 12,000 years.
We should remind ourselves now that humans started to walk on 2 feet in Africa, maybe as far back as several million years. When they moved northwards, and so humans have done many times, always they got white, because they needed more vitamin D, simply more sun and more vitamin D. So this is a Darwinian view which is very hard to act against, that humans get white when they need more sun.
A lot of the new research is about the role D vitamins play for people. It has been shown that 80 to 90% of our D vitamins form in our skin while we are out in the sun, and that only a small portion of this can be replaced by various nutritional supplements. It has also been very clearly shown that we Scandinavians, as well as others living in northern areas, often suffer from vitamin D deficiency. In this film, we'll refer to this condition as a lack of sunlight, because that's exactly what it is. And a lack of sunlight inevitably leads to vitamin D deficiency. D vitamins form in our skin when we are exposed to sunlight. The substance hydrocortisol is converted in the skin to D vitamins, which is a good thing, since it would otherwise be converted into cholesterol, and high cholesterol levels increase the risk of cardiovascular disease.
But 50% of the world's population is vitamin D deficient, and we believe that it has serious health consequences for both children and adults alike. It's incomprehensible to physicians as to how vitamin D can reduce risk of heart attack by 50%, reduce risk of common cancers like colon, prostate, breast by as much as 50%, reduce risk of infectious diseases, including influenza, by as much as 90%, reducing risk of type 1 diabetes, 78%.
The sun seems to affect the entire biology of the human body in a way that we haven't previously understood. Vitamin D is also known as a prohormone, which means that the vitamins in the body are converted to hormones. Consequently, there is now a great deal of evidence suggesting that these hormones play a vital role for our entire immune system. Sunlight protects us from cancer and many other diseases.
So all in total, physicians are not thinking about vitamin D. They can't understand how it can have all of these health benefits, although there is really good science to back up all of these. Every tissue and cell in your body has a vitamin D receptor. Why would they be there if they weren't having an effect?
At northern latitudes, all illnesses that can be attributed to a lack of sunlight are much more prevalent than in other countries that get more sun. The correlation between illness and a lack of sunlight is apparent.
The reason that's important is that in the wintertime in Europe, as well as in the United States, you cannot make any vitamin D in your skin. We were born, we evolved in sunlight. We've always appreciated the beneficial effects of the sun. You can go back to our ancestors. They've all worshipped the sun. And it's only in the past 40 years that the sun has been demonized by the dermatology community, because they really have only looked with blinders on at just one thing, which is what they always see, which is skin cancer.
The existing theory that our sunbathing habits could be behind the increase in various types of skin cancer has now been challenged. If the sun has so many positive effects, can the same sun really be the cause of the cancer epidemic? The theory that the sun is the cause of this cancer has been around for some 40 years, and it's been repeated so many times during this period that most people now consider it to be a universal truth. But is it really? The ultimate explanation as to why skin cancer is on the rise is still unclear. Sweden and the National Board of Health and Welfare have the world's most comprehensive records of cancer statistics, and these statistics indicate that other factors are the underlying causes of the increase in skin cancer. When these statistics are analyzed, two striking correlations come to light. This chart clearly shows the increase in 4 types of cancer. The green line is colon cancer. The red line is breast cancer. The blue line is malignant melanoma. And finally, the purple line is prostate cancer. All of these types of cancer are increasing by approximately 3 to 4% each year. This is a rapid rate of increase and is considered to be an epidemic. In other words, we are in the midst of a cancer epidemic in which 4 types of cancer are increasing very rapidly. No research has found a single explanation for this epidemic. We simply don't know why this is happening to us. But the fact that these types of cancer are increasing at the same rate does indicate that the same factors are probably involved. The other unexpected correlation becomes apparent when the development curves are extended back in time in an effort to find the point at which the epidemic started. The cancer appears to have begun in the 1940s and 50s.
Chemicals are everywhere in the lives of Europeans. In industrial processing, construction materials, agriculture, or in everyday items such as paints, sprays, cleaning products or motor oils.
Researchers simply don't know how we can stop this epidemic. Enormous sums of money have been allocated each year throughout the world to find the answer. Why then is it so difficult to reverse this trend? The Swedish Radiation Authority continues to warn us about sunlight. Nearly 98% of the population believes that the sun is the cause of the skin cancer epidemic, and we've never used as much sunscreen as we do today. Why isn't the effect of their propaganda evident in the statistics? 40 years of information have now convinced 98% of the population. Their work's lack of impact proves that the sun theory is false. Most indicators suggest that toxins in our environment are the root cause of the 4 types of cancer. Contrary to the existing theories, sunlight seems to be something that we humans need.
We know that sensible sun exposure reduces risk of deadly cancers, reduces risk of infectious diseases, autoimmune diseases, hypertension, heart disease, stroke, and recently it's been suggested that even dementia and schizophrenia are related to vitamin D deficiency. So I think the message is clear that the sun is our friend. You need to take advantage of the beneficial effect of the sun.
Cancer must be combated, but in order to do so, we must first understand the causes of the disease. The sun doesn't seem to play any part in this development, and in fact, the opposite seems to be the case. There is now plenty of evidence indicating that we are adapted to living in the sun, and that we need sunlight to stay healthy.